Sure, why not? I like it. Okay. All right, so first of all, thank you so much for completing your cornerstone. Kudos to you. Your cornerstone form looked really excellent, especially in the way that you named your strategies. I like that you bulleted them like strategy 1, strategy 2, and they were really clear and measurable. Sometimes when people do this process, they write all the things that they think they might do, and yours were very clear. They were also things that can easily be done in a school day. So you didn't have a lot of strategies that were like, I will call 50 parents by the end of the week, when it's not realistic. So I liked how realistic your strategies were too. So thank you for doing that.
Okay.
So first, exciting that we're able to do a real goal setting meeting together. We didn't get to do it last year because you were flexing in kinder.
Yeah, my goals didn't make sense at all for when I got to third grade.
When we did your APR, and it was like, none of these apply, so tough to say.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. So during this normal goal setting process, we will review your goals for the year to make sure that they're SMART goals, which basically just means like they're measurable. We also want to make sure that you're picking goals that matter to you and are the right goals for you, because just like you experienced last year, that's what you're going to get measured against. And so we want to make sure it actually measures for you what's appropriate for you. And so we want to pick the right goals so that you feel like they are appropriate. I also want you to know it's important for us to pick the right goals because your goals are ultimately my goals.
Okay.
I measure myself and my success in the year based on how well my teachers do in hitting their goals. So I want to make sure we both agree that they're right so that we both can hit our goals by the end of the year. How we'll do it is we will finalize your goals and we'll clarify any of those, like if we're missing goals, we'll rewrite them.
Okay.
We'll clarify any strategies that you have and make sure those are finalized. Then we'll go over that gap reflection part. And ultimately, you've already closed out your form, so you can't make any changes.
Okay.
So if we make any changes, I'm going to record them here, and then I'll make the edits. So just know,
I can just view it while we're talking.
Yeah, you're going to view, but you won't be able to change anything.
Gotcha.
Any next step will be decided upon between us, and then I will fill it in for you.
Okay.
Cool. Is there anything else you want to go over during this time?
No, it's perfect.
Cool. And then just a final reminder of the structure. This is our goal setting meeting. It's one of 3 of the formal staff development cycle meetings. So we'll do goal setting at the beginning of the year. Mid-year, we'll do your 2x2 where we step back and we see how are we doing towards them.
Gotcha.
And then your APR at the end of the year, we'll finalize how we did and ultimately celebrate the goals that we met.
Gotcha.
Cool. Okay, so let's jump into reviewing. Of all the goals that you submitted, they were all already SMART goals, especially because you picked them from the menu. So that makes reviewing a lot easier. What we'll do is we'll review the strategies within your goals and make sure that we agree on those, and then we'll ultimately add those goals that you were missing because they weren't on the menu for you, like you mentioned.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so let's first, we're going to start at the top with 90% of Word Masters and 30% Royal Readers.
Okay.
I read through your strategies there. They look great. Ultimately, I want you to tell me, why is this goal important to you, and what's the impact if you hit it in 3rd grade?
It's definitely important to get all of our kids to love reading and to be reading. I saw the excitement last year as kids were hitting Word Master, when I joined in 3rd grade. And then at the end, we didn't have a whole lot of kids last year, I know, that were millionaires, but there were kids that were so close. And someone like Udial, he stands out to me last year. He was so close. He was always reading. He was so excited. And other kids were getting excited for him. And then they wanted to read more words, contagious.
Yeah.
So it definitely builds that investment in reading and that excitement in the classroom, and it's fun. I mean, it's an easy way for them to quiz and Wilbert's already become Word Master in my homeroom. All the kids are high-fiving him and so supportive. So I just want to keep that encouraged throughout everybody.
Yeah.
That they're hitting that goal too.
Cool. Sounds like y'all are doing a great job celebrating kids too when they meet goals, which makes it that much more fun. What do you feel like is the impact if y'all have more Royal Readers this year?
They'll be going into 4th grade way more successful because they will have already achieved that. I know Sir Day 1, he was telling everybody in 3rd grade he was a Royal Reader last year. So he's already putting that seed, planting that seed in their mind of you can do this. And so I think if we have more this year in 3rd, they'll be going into 4th ready to go. Like their summers will be filled with a lot more reading.
Mm-hmm.
I know we lose a lot of like that investment in reading over the summer.
Yep.
So.
And I think of the way y'all ended last year for STAR, being that like you had 80% who hit approaches, which is really close to that 90% goal, and y'all hit 90% word masters. We were still pretty far on level 3. So if we push those loyal readers, that's also going to help you with that next
Level
goal
3.
we have, which is your STAR goal too. So
Okay.
I want you to see the connection there.
Gotcha.
Because it's kind of like a 2-for-1. If we do one, it's automatically going to impact the other, which is great.
Yeah.
Your strategies here are perfect. You've got using Mondays to monitor your word count for your kids. I know y'all are using Thursdays too, which is great. And then, like you said, fostering that love of reading within academic block, but also within your class. Both are great. One thing I'm going to add here is book series. And something we haven't talked about yet.
Okay.
I am going to send you a link of series that we ordered for 3rd grade.
Oh, nice.
Because we saw last year with 5th grade who did the best with the millionaire goal was that Norma really spoke to like when a kid got into a series, they like
keep going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so what we did is we ordered 1 million words worth of series. So it's
nice.
like 5 or 6 series that if a kid reads all of them, they will hit a million words.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So you guys will receive those books in 3rd grade. The next step for you that I want to flesh out is making sure you have a clear checkout system for this series.
Okay.
Because if a kid gets stuck, like if a kid loses their book, they've blocked that series now for other kids. So talk to me about your checkout system.
So currently they are taking a picture with the book that they want to take home and read. Some of them are reading AR books at home when we have like the 30 minutes of reading homework. Sometimes they have a fluency sheet, so it's kind of like one or the other, I guess, for homework. So right now when it is read for 30 minutes, they're either taking a book home from my class and they're taking a picture with it so I know which book it was. Some kids are like super on it, like you need to delete that picture because I already read that book, and I'm like, awesome. Other kids, I'm like, I need to go follow up with you, like, did you bring this book back? Like, show them the picture. So I'm not sure how much I'm loving that system.
It's a lot of work on you.
I know that Kat, like, I'm worried I'm like gonna get full of photos and not have any room on my phone or something because my phone's kind of old. But other than that issue, like, I just don't know. Kat said that it was easier than the kids writing it down this early in the year, but they were doing so much writing in Wit and Wisdom, I feel like they could handle that.
Yeah.
But like this library, she gave me her books from last year since she knew I was going to be in here. And so I don't know if there's already like her name in them or like a good way. I don't have my name in any of them. So if that's something that I would have to do after school one day just to make sure that we know who they belong to.
Yeah. An easy thing to do is you can print stickers with like your name and your classroom number and even like your phone number.
Oh, cool.
And that way you just like put them on.
Okay.
That way you don't have to write.
Yeah.
It'll ultimately be faster.
Yeah. Okay, so label, inside covers. And then I know like Norma had a clipboard or something and the kids write.
She had like a whiteboard somewhere and the kids wrote it or she would write it. Yeah, you can do a clipboard or a whiteboard. Whiteboard you just have to have high enough that like
they're not going to
smudge it off. Yeah. And then, so I would move to that system because the picture system is great, but I think it's going to, like you said, it's going to exhaust you with like...
Yeah, and then trying to delete. Like, I was trying to go back and delete. Like, this kid had like 5 books I had to delete because he had already returned them all.
Yeah.
Okay, so start with this system. I think I want to have like a form that they just write title and like date and their name or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
One other thing you can do is you can have like a kid in charge of that too. That way, during academic block, they're not always like, Ms. Markey, I want to check out a book. Like,
yeah, and it could be like at the end of the day kind of thing as well, like a certain time.
Yep.
Because I know like we have deer time, like we're calling it deer just because it's like they're familiar with that term. And at the end of deer, they know like if you need an AR zone pass for lunch, like raise your hand. So we have like a system with that. But now I'm wondering with homework, since I do a reminder at the end of the day, if that could be something.
Yep, definitely.
But then I also like have Miss A's homeroom who were checking out books too. So it would have to be something during a reading class. But kid in charge.
And then just so you know, I'm going to put Marina in charge of updating you guys weekly on where we are in terms of 90/30 for Word Masters and Millionaires. So, because we've technically got an extra reading teacher, so I'm going to kind of put her in charge of Millionaire stuff.
Like today I went around during Deer and I was like highlighting Wilbur, you know, he's already a Word Master. You guys are on such like great reading levels. There's no reason why you shouldn't be already like at least at 10,000 words. And I'm doing word counts today, so as I'm coming around, and there's still going to be kids that have 0. Like, I wasn't here at the beginning of the year last year, so how did we kind of get over this hump of, like, I see you reading, but when are you quizzing? Because I talk about it all day long, and you're in AR zone once a week, but, like, there's a disconnect.
Yeah. The last year we were able to quiz, not in AR zone, so that's something that I would like to clarify, is if there is any chance that we can have kids quiz, because that was our way around it, is we had cows, so kids could quiz right then and there. The problem was the accuracy piece of like, were they getting good enough grades? So that's kind of like the playoff.
I've been like telling them I'll give them a Bulldog book if they get 100%, and I need to see their journals before they change books. Like I do that during their Deer time.
Yep.
So
yeah, I will follow up about quizzing, because in addition, it would also be nice if they could at least go to AR zone during academic block, and then you could get
like
more
today,
kids
Monday,
quizzing.
would be great. Like, I know who's finished their book, I've seen their notes, like, do it all at once, because I know kids forget.
Yeah. One other option is we could start sending Marina to the AR zone if we needed to. If Minchaka's not free, we could have her go and, like, send some kids too. So let me ask about quizzing, and I'll follow up with you on that.
Okay.
Great. For your next goal, that's your 90/30 star goal. That goal we're not going to discuss. You had excellent strategies here. I love how you tied in wit and wisdom. And I know you know the importance and impact of 90/30 star. We talked about it a million times last year, so you're good there. For your 80A goal, for this one, just tell me what you think is the impact on kids when they are here this many days of the year.
Let me just see what I wrote here in the communication.
So this one's just you telling me if you hit 97.5 ADA for your homeroom, what do you feel like is the impact on your kids?
I mean, when they're here, they're invested, like they're working together, they're excited about the next day because they know it's coming up. Like when they're coming in and they're missing things, then they're like lost. And there's just so much group stuff we do, you know, like I was emphasizing today with morning video, we're talking about generosity and being a good teammate, like managing your emotions and stuff. And I was like, we do so much with our partners here. Like if you're not here and if you're not sharing, like your partner can't do the best they can do. So it's just like putting that on them, like their responsibility is like to help each other out.
That's cool.
And so, I mean, if they're not here, like this just builds so much. Like if they miss one day of wit and wisdom, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They're gonna be so lost. Yeah. So that's definitely the impact, is them being here and they can like go off of what they did yesterday and refer back and know what to discuss with their partners.
Yep, absolutely. And you already, I can tell how much you think ADA is important by how well your homeroom has been doing and the strategies that you've already built. I mean, y'all are hitting 100% almost every day, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
So this is not a goal that I feel like you will struggle hitting. It's a goal we will continue to reflect on throughout the year if there's any point where you're falling below it. But for now, doing great. So checking off this goal too. We're good to go there.
I do want to like spend more time with parent communication. Like I've sent messages on Dojo like super easily, but the parents that aren't on Dojo, and I've tried to call a couple times through Remind, and it doesn't always work. So I don't know if there's another system in place, or I should just ditch Remind and call using my number.
You can do either.
Cases.
I would also email Melissa if you're like reaching a dead end with a phone number, because one, she knows the most about Remind, but two, she does a nice job. She has a little more flexibility to like figure out if there's another phone number. Is there, you know, some sort of familial issue where like now you're with grandma, and so like mom's not answering the phone because you've totally changed where you're living. So just clue her in anytime you like have a parent where you're not getting them. And then also clue me in if it's a struggle parent where you're like, I've reached out 5 times and I like need to talk to them. Because you know, sometimes they don't answer some calls, but they answer others. So there's some workarounds there too.
Well, I have a lot of Spanish-speaking parents, but I know I have Marina and Mitzi, which is nice. And if I'm calling from home, and I think they're English-speaking, and